Excellent. Hello, good morning, Aneta. How are you? Thank you so much for joining me today. And today we're going to be talking about fitness and training and all things healthy diet, nutrition, etc. So maybe why don't you start off by telling me a bit about what you do in terms of your personal training and personal training for you, and how that helps you to relax and feel good.
Well, there will be a lot of story. You know, I've been training for many years, on and off, really, depending on the life situations. But I'm trying to keep it as regular as possible. Last months were not really best ones because of some moving and stuff like that, but I have to say that the last year and like up to first part of this year was actually excellent for me, and it actually put me on a really good track, because the truth is, you know, if you're not keeping that regular, you will always have this voice in your head that, oh, I don't want to do it, you know. I mean, it always comes, but the more regular you do that and the longer you do that, it just comes so natural. It just comes like, you know, like brushing the teeth, really. And yeah, and
it's like a habit. It becomes a habit, doesn't it?
It is, and you know, the trainers are telling a lot about this consistency, and it's really true, because like I said, the more you do that, the more regular it is. You know, for many people it's good to have the same times, the same days, you know, some kind of routine. The easier it comes, really.
Yeah.
And you know, obviously benefits for the health and well-being are just, you know, enormous, I would say. There's nothing else like that, really. No medication, no nothing. Of course, I'm not saying that people with some conditions shouldn't take medication, but I'm saying that in overall health and well-being is just it's just essential, really. Our bodies are created to move, and we just have to keep going, really. And guidelines said that we should have at least 150 minutes intensive in a week, which means it's around 4 or 5 workouts, medium intensity a week. And I believe like at least 4 workouts a week are really, really important for that. And it doesn't have to be super intensive. It doesn't have to be, you know, crazy cardio or very long ones. It's just literally around 30, 45 minutes, 4 or 5 times a week. And well, I'm a big fan of strength training, really. So that's what I do mostly. I don't do actual cardio. If I do, it's kind of training, like before the lockdown I was doing Muay Thai and some martial arts, boxing. And also, you know, with the strength training, for example, kettlebells, which I love, you know, that kind of training puts you in a cardio mode anyway. So, yeah.
What would you say to somebody? So how would you advise somebody who doesn't really do much exercise and is looking for a New Year's resolution to get into shape for next year? When I have set those goals in the past, I've done maybe a month of consistency, and then it slowly tapered off, and then I've just stopped. What would you say to somebody in, for example, that position that was looking to make it a new part of their life, especially for next year as part of their New Year's resolution?
Well, that is really personal stuff, because every single person is different, and that's why it's really important to do the interviews with people if they decide to like do the workouts, as everyone is different. Some people really just need some simple guideline, and they they go on it. But some people just really need the push every single time. But I would say just start. Basically, the first step you should do, it's just start. And even if it's 20 minutes a day, even if it's a longer walk at the beginning every day, it still counts as activity. So if you are a beginner, definitely don't go straight away and like high intensity workouts, weight workouts, because with the lack of experience, that's how people get discouraged, and also they can harm themselves. So it's really important to start with some basics, and obviously it depends if if you're having some help from the personal trainer, or you want to do yourself. It's plenty of videos on YouTube for beginners, for intermediate. It's really like now it's really not a problem to start to find the material to do something. If the gyms are closed, you can do it at home, because there's plenty of videos really on YouTube. It's all for free, so it's really just the will to start. And I would say just every tiny step every day, like every day try to do something which will push you forward. I don't know, maybe one day just give up on the spoon of sugar in your coffee. The other day maybe just give up on this chocolate bar you had every day. It's if you that kind of person which doesn't have much motivation and is discouraged easily, I would say very small steps, but every day some step, even if it's tiny. Obviously, if people are more motivated, it's much easier. And the more you do that, the more slowly you'll see some results, the more motivated you are, because you see that it's working really. So I would say definitely try to start good diet habits. So instead of some chocolate, it's some dry fruits, like give up maybe on some sugars in a tea or coffee. Start the day with a warm glass of water with lemon juice, which will start your stomach working properly in the morning. It's also really important, and it helps with metabolism. So that's that kind of small steps, and of course workouts. But some people just start working. That's why a lot of people get discouraged, because they start working out and then don't see the results they were expecting. And usually the reason is because they don't keep the diet really. And diet is really, and it's not made up, but it's true. It's 70% of the success. So if it comes, of course, to the weight loss, exercises are very important if it comes to overall health and well-being. But if it comes to the weight loss, the diet is just essential, really. So I could
you could talk about it forever. Yeah.
And really every single person is different, and they require different approach. But I would just say that the basic things is just to start with small steps, to do every day something really even small. Of course, if it's bigger, it's even better. Start with the workouts, just like, don't look for excuses. Just the best way is to just set one time for every day. When you want to set the days you want to work out, set the times you want to work out, and when this time is coming, it's just like, I'm doing it. Don't look for excuses, and just start. If you are a beginner, start with something easy, just like using your body weight, really.
Does it help to start off with something fun? So we met through My Gravity Fitness, where they do aerial fitness, and it's all kind of it's kind of secret fitness, because you don't feel like you're doing fitness, but you're having fun, you're meeting people. If somebody is lacking that motivation, does exercise like that, rather than hitting the gym and the treadmill or going jogging, would something like that be better?
It's really personal, because there are people who love when the trainers are talking to them all the time, all the way, but there are some people who are like, oh, just please don't talk to me, I just want to focus on my exercises. Some people want to something more slow, kind of like a flow. Some people like something more expressive, so it's once again something personal. So I would say just look for something that you like,
You enjoy. Yeah.
Definitely
And
that
as
you
a
enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and if you enjoy it, chances are you will continue.
Definitely.
For somebody, sorry.
Workout shouldn't be a punishment, it should be something that you really enjoy. So whatever it is, just find a way, to do it. Just to, like, for example, I don't like running. I tried many times and I'm not up for it. So, I won't be a runner. But maybe if I would have enough motivation that I really want to run marathon or something, probably I would like kind of push myself. I don't have that kind of aspirations, so I prefer to spend my time on something that I like, and that's the same thing. Like, if you enjoy kind of like maybe fun workouts, or like music based workouts that we should do. If you prefer, there are plenty of trainers on YouTube who are like kind of they don't even talk much, they just like show what to do. Some of them just talk all the way through, kind of like telling you, you're doing great work and just keep on doing just 2 more times and things like that. It's all depends. But so I would say definitely find something which you enjoy and it's not annoying, because if it's annoying, you probably won't come back to it.
Yeah. Well, see, I'm in the category of making 101 excuses. So, I'm tired, I've got children, blah blah blah, and yeah, I prefer to have accountability. So I do prefer to have somebody, who will check in with me and be like, oh, have you done it, and kind of give me that disappointing look if I haven't, because I like to please people, so I never like to disappoint. So that in for me works best. In terms of when you see your clients, so as a personal trainer, what sorts of things do you do initially to get to know the client? What's the process?
Well, that's like I said at the beginning, it's the basic is the questionnaire to know about health conditions, and if they have any fitness experience, things like that. And then really just talk through, ask a lot of questions, really, because even with the goals, very often people tell you the goals which are not actually the actual
real goal. Yeah.
And then when you talk, you realize that actually that it's not that they're working for, that there's something else behind it. And this is important because that it gives you kind of a picture of what they expect, you know.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are not really like straightforward, or they think they are, but you know, they kind of like go around some, it's many things, you know. Some people are shy, some, it's really like I would say the conversation, and conversation, but listening first of all, you know.
Yeah.
uh, where you can really find out a lot of things about the people and they goals, you know. And then from there you can really kind of go forward. You also find out if they have any knowledge, you know, if, when it comes to dieting and exercising, and yeah. And then it's really finding that actual goal and setting the goals time wise as well, because this is really important to put the time frames into the goals
Oh.
and
Yeah, so
yes,
that you have a
you
target
don't
to work towards.
have
Yeah.
like deadline. You kind of like, oh, I still have time, you know.
Mm.
So timing is really important here, and it's you know, you start with the like those small goals on the way,
Mhm.
because you know, obviously the main goal is always far away because it
Yeah.
takes time. So yeah, like goals, let's say, you know, the healthy weight loss is around half kilo a week. So yeah, things like that. And then you kind of like, you can set the goal for the next 6 weeks, and let's say to lose 3 kilos. And yeah, and it's also very important to kind of indicate if the actual client, you know, is doing the job, or they cheat somewhere on the way. Because yeah, it's you know, failures happens all the time, but we have to kind of review
Yeah, and learn
and
from them,
see
right?
where we can do some adjustment, because some very often on the way you can see that, you know, someone like, for example, doesn't like some kind of exercise, and they, you know, they didn't mention before, but then they doing it and they really like struggle, and then on the way you're finding out, so you try to find something else which they will enjoy more.
Mm.
Sometimes foods which they don't really, you know, like. And to make you know, goals achievable, and then to be able to maintain them, it's really important to create the diet and the a workout plan which is really you know, suitable for the person, because you cannot force someone to, let's say, eat broccolis if they don't, if they hate it, you know.
Yeah.
So it's not sustainable diet. So you have to, you know, if it's supposed to work through all your life, kind of
Hmm.
sustainable. Otherwise it won't work. So
Right.
yeah, it's like, you know, it's a process of really knowing people and what they like, what they dislike, and yeah, and that, I think this is the key to succeed. And but of course, you know, the person who's doing this job has to put their effort in, because the trainer can do everything they want, but if the person is not following, there's
Yeah.
nothing to really do, you know. And looking at the motivation, there's many different ways, you know. Sometimes people get motivated because they have to pay for the personal trainer, so if they pay, they think like, well, I need to put the
Yeah.
effort. But sometimes it doesn't work, you know, something else. So
What would
yeah.
you say, so just to kind of wrap up, your three tips are, so your three main tips for somebody who's looking into becoming fit and healthy and changing their lifestyle from January, and to make it success?
Three
Three top
tips. Well,
tips.
I definitely try to make it a habit. So set the times and set the days you want to work out.
Mhm.
Don't start with something super intensive which will discourage you. Just try to find, like once again, it depends if if person is using some service of personal trainer, if they do it, but let's say they do it themselves, they just want to work out at home. So I would say do some research, find some workouts which you can see that you would probably like, and just stick to it,
Mhm.
and set the time, set the days, and really just put it in the calendar on your phone, so it will remind you every time, and just do it, really, like you know uh, it's really how it works. You just have to do it.
Get started. Excellent. Well, thank you so much. That was a lot of interesting information there, and yeah, I guess the only way we're gonna make changes is by making changes, no matter how slowly you do them. As long as you're, as it somebody said to me, little steps in the right direction are just as valid as big steps. So
Definitely, even if you're doing something, I don't know, 15-20 minutes a day, it's still much more if you wouldn't do anything. So
yeah.
if you count it through all the year, how much you've done,
Hmm.
it makes huge difference. Same when it comes to the diets, the small steps. uh, I know it's not easy to like give up on everything if you have kind of like bad food habits. That's why it's good to start slowly. Start with the water in the morning, with the lemon juice. Just try to reduce your sugar in your coffees and teas, things like that. Some things that you won't feel them so badly, but they will make a difference.
Yeah.
Because if you cut everything, that's really hard. Of course, if you get a diet from someone, it's good to stick to it, and definitely you should stick to it. But that's, once again, it all depends on our circumstances, what goal we want to achieve. Because there are some people who wants to gain the weight. There are some people who are really overweight and looking for losing the weight. There are
Yeah.
some people who wants body transformation in a way that they want body build. uh, that's all specific things. But I would say every single day, just something, start some good habit, and it will just, with the time, you won't even notice that you've done that, and you're like not bothering with that anymore. Like for me, it was like I gave up on sugars, but that was many years ago, in a coffee and tea, and now I don't use sugar at all. And I don't even feel the difference.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that kind of things. And
Excellent.
really, um I'm a big fan of healthy approach, because fitness is fitness, and it's really popular now. It's really, everyone talks about the fitness and this bodybuilding, but for me it's not about the six pack. It's really about the health, especially now in the times when we have so much processed foods, and the cancer is really a actual pandemic. We should care more about the health and look what we eat, like really pay attention to what we eat, what we put into our bodies, because
Yeah.
that makes a difference. And um, and it really can save lives, really.
Yeah.
And
Well, ultimately, so with talking to other people and obviously my personal research and my personal experience, I know that what you feed your body will determine how how you behave, how you feel, how you can manage exercise, what energy you have. It's just huge. Just by being a bit more aware about your nutrition um, can have such a big impact in your day. And ultimately, my thing this year for 2021 is more energy. I want more energy. I mean, I know I'm busy, and I know I'm crazy busy. Sometimes I'm running around like a headless chicken, but
Mhm.
I always feel tired. From the minute I wake up to the minute I go to sleep, I'm just shattered, and I just want more energy. So so that I can do more exercise, and I can be more fit, and I can squeeze it all in and stop with the excuses. Ultimately, that's
Uh,
my aim.
Yeah, well, that's definitely, the funny part with exercising is that the more you do that, the more energy you have, you know?
Yeah,
So it's funny that, yeah, that, uh, there's a lot of people who struggle with the lack of energy, but that's really the dieting.
mm,
Uh, don't cut your carbs, because this fashion about cutting the carbs is just the worst thing ever. And once, when it was um, about the fats before, that like, oh, the fats are just bad, now we know they are not. And there are many healthy fats which are essential for our bodies. It's
yeah,
the same with the carbs. It's, they say, oh, they cut the carbs because that's how you lose the weight, but it's not true. Carbs are essential for our bodies. They feed our brain, they feed our tissues, and they give us energy. So carbs are really, really important, especially when you exercise. When you exercise, you need to put a big pressure on having the enough proteins, good proteins, but carbs are, I mean, I would say that for a person who's training regularly 4-5 a week, quite intensive workouts, the carbs should be 55-60% of your daily intake.
mm,
So that's kind of a lot, and it's really, really important, because that maintains your energy levels in your body. And yeah, so
yeah.
that
No, it's
there's many information out there, especially nowadays when we have the internet and everything, which are false, and people who don't have any knowledge, they just follow it, and then the problem arises. And also, um, like I said about the health, I believe the food is actual medicine. So really, it is really important what we eat. And a lot of people don't realize, how bad they sometimes think like, oh, I just ate that or that, but they don't realize how bad impact it will most likely have on their health sooner or later. And also, obesity is plague in nowadays, and we don't talk about that enough as well.
yeah,
The
yeah,
BMI above 25 is overweight, and it already has an impact on your health, and it's actual disease. We should call we people don't call it, but obesity is a disease.
yeah. Oh,
Oh, oh, I'm sorry.
it's okay. Where did you go?
I had
Ah, there you go.
sorry.
It's all right. Okay, Aneta. Well, so much information to take in, and advice and stuff. Thank you so
Yeah, I'm
much.
sorry. I've been talking a lot, but I could talk about it for hours, and it's still not much I said, actually,
Yeah,
because it's really, really a lot, and I don't know everything yet as well. So I'm still learning, but yeah,
yeah.
for
Well,
the
I'd
people
love to have you back
that,
on. I'd love to have you back on. Maybe later on in the year when to check in on my progress. That would be really good. Um, but but yeah, in the meantime, thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you soon. I haven't seen you in ages, so I look forward to seeing you soon. Okay.
Yeah, I really hope soon that all thing will be over and we can meet in real life.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, Aneta. See you
No
later.
problem. Take care.
Bye.
Bye bye. Bye.